Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 movies I hated at first, but I love now. Yes, this is a interesting top 10 list because, have you ever had a movie you watched on first viewing and you didn't really enjoy it? You didn't like it, it just didn't click with you and stuff. And just, maybe it was depending on the day, or just the movie just didn't have that impact on you, or maybe a lot in my case, you watched it at a very young age and you just didn't understand it, and when you watched it older, you understood it more and you loved it more. That's happened to me multiple times, and I'm here to talk about those kind of movies and stuff. These are movies, at first viewing, I really didn't enjoy them, actually. I didn't think they were great films, but then when I watched them again, like later in my life, or just like maybe instantly after, I liked them a lot more upon second and third viewing and stuff. And most of these movies, when I watched them, I was very young and I just didn't know any better. But that's not the case. But a lot of these movies I watched at a very young age, so I didn't enjoy them very much because I found them maybe boring or just not for me and stuff. But now, as of now, I fucking love these movies and I think they're great films, but not at first viewing. So yeah, here's my top 10 movies I hated at first, but I love now. So yeah, coming in number 10 is About a Boy. About a Boy is with Hugh Grant and Nicholas Hoult, and it's basically about a guy. He basically is kind of like just a dude that has no job and just he has a lot of money because his dad invented a very famous song. He just, hooks up with women, just lives life just very lazily, and he meets this kid who wants to basically be a lot like him, and they spawn this friendship and stuff. And again, I saw this movie when I was young. I think I saw this movie when I was about 12 years old. We rented it from Blockbuster. And I didn't find that funny because I thought it would be like a funny movie and stuff, but it wasn't funny to me and I just didn't enjoy it. So I never watched it again, but I watched it like years later, I think about 7-8 years later, and I really enjoyed it. I'm like, wow, this is the movie I didn't enjoy. I'm like, this is a great movie with a great character, really good chemistry between Hugh Grant and Nicholas Hoult, and there's just a lot of good comedies. Yeah, I feel like this is the kind of movie you gotta watch when you're at least in your late teens and stuff. I feel like if a kid watched this movie, they probably wouldn't find it very funny because the kid character is kind of a dork and stuff. Even though I was a dork as a kid, I didn't want to watch a movie about a dorky kid, so I don't know. Didn't like it as a kid, love it now, About a Boy. Coming in number 9 is The Odd Couple. This, I just feel feel disgusting just saying this. Okay. I was about 7 years old, and my grandmother had Turner Classic Movies on, and she was watching The Odd Couple, and I love comedies, and I've always loved comedies, so I watched a little bits with her, and I didn't understand what was funny. My grandparents were laughing their asses off, and I thought it was dumb, ridiculous, and didn't find it funny. Didn't think it was that funny. I'm like, why are they laughing? This is not funny to me. Like, silly Disney movies are funny to me, or dumb kid shows were funny to me. This wasn't funny. And then, again, I watched it like 10 years later when I was about 18 years old, and that was hysterical. I think Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau are fantastic. They have amazing chemistry with each other. I think they're hilarious together. And anytime they do a movie together, it's gold. Kind of like Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis. Just anytime they do a movie together, it's incredible. So, again, same with About a Boy. I feel like The Odd Couple is a movie for older audiences. I think kids, it'll just like go over their heads, the comedy. When you watch it when you get older, it's just so much funny. It's such a classic, and I love this film. I hate myself as a kid just like not liking this movie, but yeah, I love The Odd Couple. I think it's a great film. Coming in number 8 is Shakespeare in Love. Yes, okay. Same thing applies with this movie. I saw this movie when I was so young. I was about 9 years old, and this movie, even to people nowadays, like, they hate this movie. They think it's so bad, so dumb. Why did this movie win Best Picture at the Oscars? Ah! Like, I don't agree. It's not better than Saving Private Ryan. It shouldn't have beat Saving Private Ryan, but I'm not angry that it won Best Picture, because I love this movie. I think Shakespeare in Love is a great period piece film. I love Joseph Fiennes, Gwyneth Paltrow's performance. I love Judi Dench. I love Jeffrey Rush. I think it's super funny and super romantic. I love this movie. But when I watched it at 9 years old, when we rented it again from Blockbuster, I thought it was so boring. I fell asleep halfway through the movie because it was just so boring to me. And I thought, oh my god. Then when I was like 12, I saw it again on TV, and I just couldn't watch it all the way through. And then I think I tried it a third time when it was like on the movie network, and there were so many times I tried to watch this movie and I could never get through because I always thought it was such a boring film. So when I was about 19 years old, I was watching a bunch of Shakespeare movies and stuff, like Much Ado About Nothing, Hamlet, Othello. I watched a shit ton of Shakespeare movies when I was about 19, and I watched Shakespeare in Love because I was in a Shakespeare mood, and I'm like, I gotta give this movie a chance. It's been a few years, gotta give it a chance. Watched it, loved it. And now I still love it. Just when I watched it when I was 19, it's this age, being invested more in film and Shakespeare and stuff, just fucking loved it. Loved the comedy, loved the characters, loved the production, costumes, cinematography. All around, I understood why it won Best Picture. Did it deserve to win Best Picture? No, but I still understood why it did win Best Picture, and yeah. Love it, Shakespeare in Love, great film. Coming in number 7 is 2001: A Space Odyssey. Okay. Woo! Okay, here we go. Woo! Alright. Everyone knows this is my favorite Stanley Kubrick movie, because it is. It's my favorite Kubrick film. I watched this movie when I was in early high school, 14, 15 years old. I still wasn't like hardcore cinema guy, but I still love movies. I watched this movie because a lot of people call it one of the greatest sci-fi films of all time, and I was a huge Trekkie, huge Star Wars fan, so of course I wanted to watch it. And I didn't understand the hype. I didn't understand why people loved this film and put this on such a huge pedestal. I didn't understand. I'm like, oh yeah, the creation of life. Okay, I get it. Ha ha ha. Symbolic of the end of the world. Okay, I get it. Symbolic of artificial intelligence taking over humanity. I get it. It's dull. It's boring. It's just a lot of visuals. It's showing the same thing over and over again. Why is this so brilliant? Ah, la, 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 la. That's me. That's me at 14. Do you want to punch my 14 self in the face? Because I know I do. But still, watching this movie, I think I watched this movie about 6, 7 years later, and I had this deep appreciation for it. I'm just like, when I watched it, and because I bought the DVD, and I was just blown away. But I'm like, I was so wrong. This movie is so deep, so smart, so philosophical, so thought-provoking. It's so good. And it right then and there became my favorite Kubrick film of all time, man. I bought the Blu-ray, the combo Blu-ray at Walmart, years later with The Shining and Clockwork Orange. Great films as well, but 2001 is my favorite Kubrick film, and I hate that I didn't like it the first time I watched it, but I can watch it now, and I'll always be blown away by it. Coming number 6 is Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, Ghost in the Shell, the animated movie. Directed by oh my god, what's his name? Amari Moshi. Oh my god, blanking on his name's right there. I'm blanking on the guy's name. But yeah, this guy's great. This is one of the great Japanese directors. He's did an amazing job. Very inspirational Blade Runner and stuff, the world building and stuff. I love the Major. She's such a great character. It's so deep. The music's fantastic. The opening is so haunting. Again, I watched this very young, and I found it too weird. And I was into Japanese anime as a kid. I loved Kiki and stuff, and I loved My Neighbor Totoro, and I loved Spirited Away when it came out, but this was too weird for me as a kid. Watching it 12 years later, loved it, but yeah, as a kid, never show your kids this movie. It's too odd for them. Coming in number 5 is Rocky 4. This is weird. I am Tiger. It's the spirit of the... That's actually Rocky 3, but yeah, still, I digress. But Rocky 4! I love Rocky 4. Not for the reasons that you should like a movie, because it's stupid. See, when I was... I've always been a Rocky fan. Ever since I've been 11, 12 years old. I love the Rocky films. I always thought Rocky 4 and Rocky 5 were the shittiest films. I thought they were stupid, and it was I don't know why people like these movies. And so yeah, I still hate Rocky 5. But as I got older, I kind of got this guilty pleasure for Rocky 4 and stuff. I thought it's still dumb. My opinions of it as a kid weren't wrong. Just, I kind of like it now because it's so dumb and ridiculous, and there's just a lot of training montages and just silly dialogue. That's what kind of makes it so charming and so weird and so outdated, but in a great way. So yeah, if he dies, he dies. I must break you. I'm glad Creed 2 was a sequel to Rocky 4. That just makes it all the more great. Coming to number 4 is Hoosiers. Hoosiers. Yes, I did not like Hoosiers as a kid. Again. Yeah, I watched this movie with my dad on television. This was late 90s. I was about 8 or 9 years old. I found it so boring, and I liked a lot of sports movies, but this was just boring to me. And I loved, Remember the Titans and Cool Runnings and shit, but this I just found boring. I just didn't understand why people liked it so much. But again, I watched it years later when I was about high school, about 16, and I bought the DVD, and I'm just like, I'm gonna rewatch this. I heard it was a good movie, and I remember not liking it, but it was still, I remember, like, people like this movie, so I gotta watch it again. Watched it again, loved it. It's a great film. Gene Hackman's great. Dennis Hopper's great. It's just a really cool basketball story, and yeah, I love it. Coming number 3 is The Social Network. Okay, woo! Here we go. Okay, because this was not too long ago, because this movie came out in like 2010. So, 9 years ago, I was about 18 years old when this movie came out. And I was really into film, like really into cinema, and I had some pretty good taste in movies. And I love David Fincher. So, the fact that I don't know what it was, when I saw this movie in theaters, I did not like The Social Network. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is. This is my like top 3 favorite Fincher films. This is like my 3rd favorite David Fincher film. I love The Social Network, but I don't know what it is. When I saw it the first time in theaters, I thought it was so boring, and I didn't get the hype. I didn't get it. I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't get the hype. Why do people love this movie so much? I didn't get it. I don't know what it is. I thought Jesse Eisenberg was great. The writing was really great. Aaron Sorkin's writing was so good. I didn't get it. I just couldn't get invested in it. But months and months later, my sister actually bought the DVD because she wanted to watch it and stuff. So me, her, and my brother watched it. And I wanted to watch it again to see if I would like it again. I'm just like, you know what? I didn't find it all that interesting, but I'm going to try to watch it again. And lo and behold, I watched it the second time, and I loved it. I thought it was so great. It was funny. It was deep. It was an interesting character study about Mark Zuckerberg and creating Facebook. It was just... I don't even know how to explain it, why I didn't like it the first time. Just, I don't know. But, you know, second time's the charm, and now it's like one of my favorite Fincher films. So, whew, thank God for that. Cut number 2 is probably one of the most disgraceful ones. It's Gone with the Wind. Okay. Again, I was a dumb kid, so didn't know any better. I was about 8 years old watching this, and this is not not a movie for kids. Like, you don't show a kid a 4-hour period piece romance film. Like, there's no way they would ever watch it. And yeah, I didn't last 20 minutes. I lasted about 15 minutes. That was so dumb, so boring. I'm like, ugh, how do people watch this crap? I'm gonna go watch Dragon Ball Z. And yeah, but lo and behold, I watched it about 15 years later. About 15 years later. Yeah, I was pretty old when I watched this movie again. I was about like 21 when I watched Gone with the Wind again. And I bought the Blu-ray. Loved it. And now I watch it at least once a year. I watch Gone with the Wind at least once a year because it's so good. It's like an epic. It's an epic. It's a masterpiece. The performances, the direction, the structure, it's an all-around genius film. And yeah, I don't want to talk about this because it just makes me feel bad that I didn't like Gone with the Wind. But again, I was a kid. Fuck did I know. And my number 1 movie, I hated at first, but I love now, is On the Waterfront. On the Waterfront. This is quick and fast. Again, same thing. As a kid, I watched it about 10 years old. I probably got through maybe 5 minutes of it and thought it was dumb and boring and just skipped it. But again, I watched it. I think I watched this movie when I was in high school. I was about 17 when I watched On the Waterfront again. And that was great. It's like, I could have been a contender. So great. Marlon Brando, probably one of his best performances ever. And just, it's such a great, beautifully written film. And just, yeah, it tells a lot about the labor union. So it's very educational as well. So yeah. So yeah, that's my top 10 movies I hated at first, but I love now. So stay tuned for the next video when I talk about the top 10 movies I loved at first, but then I hated, but I hate now. Yeah, first time I watched them, I loved them, but now I hate them. So yeah, look forward to that video. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, what are some movies that you did not like at first viewing? At first viewing, you didn't like them, but after watching them maybe multiple times or just a second time, you love them. So yeah. Give me your thoughts, opinions, give me some of your picks, comment below, let me know, and as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.